How to find inspiration when you're stuck in a creative rut. Welcome back to my little creative corner of the internet. And it's time for creativity and coffee. So let's grab our sketchbooks and a good cup of coffee. And sit down to create something while we talk a bit about inspiration and why we as creatives sometimes have to sit around and do nothing to get our creative juices and minds flowing, running wild. How to get creative on a daily basis without burning out. Creativity is nothing that gets done in a completely empty void in a way. You have to find inspiration, and to get inspiration from around you is completely fine. But we live in a day and age where we are so bombarded with information and content and inspiration and ideas and things to watch, things to look at, things to listen to all the time, that sometimes you just have to allow yourself to sit around with your sketchbook or without it, maybe sit in nature. But for me, I love to just sit at my desk with a good cup of coffee and my sketchbook before me, so that when creativity strikes, I can right away start creating. But before that, I just have to allow myself to sit around and do nothing. That's something I feel like gets so lost in this modern day and age where we are so prone to feeling like we have to be super productive all the time, and if we are not producing something, we are consuming something. And as beautiful as it can be to get inspired and fuel your imagination by devouring old films, new films, music, books, paintings, photography, poems, dreams, random things around you, I just feel like sometimes we need to allow ourselves and our minds to wander. Just sitting in nature, looking at clouds or body of the water, observing light and shadows, or just sit at your desk and stare at a blank wall for a while. Sometimes that's all we need to get our creative juices flowing again and to allow our minds to run wild with new ideas. For this spread in my sketchbook, I didn't really come up with something new, but when in doubt, it's also absolutely fine to just stick to your familiar ways of creating and getting creative. It's always better to just put pen to paper or put paper to paper and washi tape to paper than do nothing at all after you have allowed yourself to sit around a bit. So make sure you find your balance, and for me, I just decided on that day to do a little collage and draw another portrait just to fill up one of these spreads in my sketchbook with all of you guys, to have some things to share while I talk a bit about finding inspiration and to allow ourselves to also not produce all the time. So maybe it's a bit of a contradiction, but I guess I feel like you have to find the balance between those two. Just create something for the sake of creating, but also allowing yourself some free time to get inspired and come up with new ideas. Remember, nobody can be you. That is your superpower. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's little time for creativity and coffee. If you did, a thumbs up would make me really happy. And if you want to join me on this creative adventure and many more to come, hit the subscribe button down below. See you very soon. Happy creating!